Hey y'all, what's up? It's another episode of Notable Prisons and the inmates that occupy them. I'm gonna need y'all to get y'all's lighters ready, cause someone is gonna be cooked in this episode. Okay, y'all. So let's take a trip back to Victorville, because I did an episode on the USP, but this is a FCI. So let's get to it. The Federal Correctional Institution of Victorville, FCI Victorville Medium 1, Medium 2 are two medium security United States federal prisons for male inmates in Victorville, California. Part of the Victorville Federal Prison Complex. It is operated by the Feds, a division of the United States Department of Justice. FCI Victorville are two medium security federal prisons. Part of the Victorville Federal Prison Complex is operated by the Feds of Division of the United States Department of Justice. There is an adjacent satellite prison camp for low-security female inmates. The complex is located on land that was formerly part of George Air Force Base. If anyone's ever been to Victorville, I actually recently did a video shoot up there, and I drove by that place. It was kind of cool, crazy seeing it, just thinking like, you know, there's some very, very powerful people behind those walls that I'll never see this side of the road, you know? It was built on a Superfund site, which has contaminated the region's water supply with industrial solvents like trichloroethylene and pesticides like dieldrin and alidrin and chemicals from jet fuel. Back in 2010, Scott Holonick, 45, the warden of FCI Victorville, was named in a 6-count indictment returned by a federal grand jury. The indictment accused Holonick of lying to special agents of the United States Department of Justice Office of the Inspector General. When he was interviewed in 2009 in connection with the investigation into internet postings that disclosed confidential government information, the indictment charged Holonick with 2 felony counts of making false statements. When he denied making posts on www.prisonofficer.org, Holonick allegedly made multiple posts to the website that contained sensitive information concerning criminal investigations at the prison. Specifically, it is alleged that he disclosed confidential government information concerning a Bureau of Prisons employee who was suspended of being involved in an inmate gambling scheme, as well as facts related to a homicide that occurred at the prison in 2009. A federal judge, Virginia Phillips, subsequently ruled that the information posted on the prisoner.org was not confidential, thereby dismissing those charges. On February 20th, 2014, federal judge Virginia Phillips ruled dismissing the remaining counts of the indictment against Holonick with prejudice. Holonick retired as a warden. Now, fast forward a little bit. In May of 2016, inmate Fazlidin Kurbanov snuck behind then-warden Calvin Johnson and attempted to slit his throat with a 4-inch shank he concealed. Where he concealed it, hey, I guess it's wherever he concealed it, injuring him in the process. He definitely concealed it there then. Kurbanov and a Uzbek refugee was serving a 25-year sentence for material support and plotting a bombing attack while working as a truck driving instructor in Salt Lake City, Utah. He was charged with attempted murder of a federal officer and sentenced to an additional 20-piece. He is now serving his time at ADX Florence. He cooked himself. All that. Now he has to ask himself, was it even worth it? So, here's some fun facts, though. The first episode of HBO's television series Luck, the main character Chester Ace Bernstein, played by Dustin Hoffman, is released from federal custody after serving 3 years at FCI Victorville. And the main protagonist, Diablo, played by Gina Silva in A Man Apart No. 3, featuring Vin Diesel, was incarcerated at Victorville Penitentiary. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. Let's get into the list of some of these inmates. Number 1, Oscar Romero Ortega Hernandez. He pled guilty to terrorism and weapons offenses for using a semi-automatic rifle to fire at least 8 rounds at the White House on November 11, 2011, in an attempt to kill President Barack Obama, who he believed was Antichrist. They gave him 25 years, but he's scheduled for release in 2033. Speaking of this, I got to pause because, this just happened with Trump. I feel like a lot of people will say that, like, oh, a group was behind these people or someone pushed these people to do this. But I've always felt that, like, if a person hates a person enough, they will go and try to make a point. Same with the little funny-looking dude on the roof with the strong-looking chin. For some reason, he felt he had a point to make. And look at him. He did all that and got deaded instantly. Boom. Shakalaka. Spaghetti all over the rooftop. He had to learn the hard way that day. And one more thing. I know a lot of people pick sides when it comes to politics. But wishing, because I've heard a lot of people say bad things about that shooting. It always bothered me. And I just feel like wishing death upon a person is crazy, But if it's like an evil person, then hey, whatever. You're entitled to your opinion. But anyways, let's get back to this. Jeffrey Alfred Whitworth. He is sentenced to 365 years for his part in the Walker family spy ring. I'm going to need everyone to light their lighters right now. Man, they didn't even cook him. Man. Look, they just threw him in the oven and just forgot about him at that point. Like, bro didn't even get cooked on the fire in the grease or nothing. We're gonna lock him in the oven and just throw him in there. Yeah, he's cooked. Literally. Next we have Osman Muhammad. He's a U.S. citizen from Somalia convicted in 2013 for attempting to use a weapon of mass destruction for trying to detonate what he thought was a car bomb supplied by an undercover FBI agent posing as members of Al-Qaeda at a Christmas tree lighting in Portland in 2010. And he is serving a 30-year sentence. He gets out in 2036, but as of now, he is currently at FCI Sandstone. Next, we have Abby Lee Miller. Choreography, dance instructor, and former star of the reality TV show Dance Moms and several spinoffs, pled guilty to bankruptcy fraud and sentenced a year and a day. And they served that year and a day, and they was released back in 2018. See, they didn't get cooked. They just got they didn't get cooked. They just got popped with the grease. That's what it was. The grease just popped them a little bit. Next, we have Miguel Caro Quintero. Y'all gotta watch Narcos, man. Y'all really gotta watch Narcos if you haven't. Shout out to this OG right here. Former leader of the now-defunct Sonora Cartel, a drug trafficking organization responsible for exporting multi-ton quantities of marijuana to the U.S. during the 80s and the 90s. And he was extradited to the U.S. from Mexico in 2009. He served a 17-year sentence, but then he got deported to Mexico upon release in 2019. Anyone that's familiar with the story, do y'all think that it was him behind the Kiki Camarino situation? Or do you think he did it or he ordered someone to do it? I've always wondered that. Next we have Lenny Dykstra. Former MLB player, pled guilty in 2012 to bankruptcy fraud and money laundering for hiding and selling sports memorabilia intended to be auctioned off for his bankruptcy filing. He was released from custody in 2013, but he only served 15 months. He just got popped with the grease, too. He didn't get cooked. Next, we have Max Butler. He pled guilty in 2007 to 2 counts of wire fraud, stealing nearly 2 million credit card numbers, which were used for $86 million in fraudulent purchases. Damn! He ran it up. Good grief. I hope all those people got their money back. Man, them scammers be scamming. He served a 13-year sentence and released April 2021. But, I don't know. He bought $86 million. He only served 13 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. But hey, he's a free dude. Probably getting right back to it. Next we have George Trofimov. retired U.S. Army Reserve Colonel and former civilian intelligence chief for the U.S. Army, convicted in 2001 for providing classified military documents to the KGB during the Cold War. George is the highest-ranking Army official to be convicted of espionage, and he died in 2014 while serving his life sentence. Next, we have Lil Doc Thone, well-respected member of the East Coast Crips. He was charged with the murder back in 2014 of a gentleman that was from Hoover, and he was sentenced to 35 years to life for that. And his projected release date is in, 35 plus 24, that's 59. 2059, he'll be around 90 years old. Shout out Lil Doc, he's a good dude, man. I mean, everyone has a history behind him, right? But he's one of them OGs that came home and was really pushing the line and pushing the envelope. You know, I mean, he helped, for anyone that's familiar with California politics, for anyone that's not familiar with California politics, he helped bring together his hood, the coast, and the Southsider hood, Florencia 13, when they was beefing for a good 20 years. Both sides have bodies, this, that, and the third, but he was part of that, which brought that together. That's a very, very, very big thing for the people that are not hip to that. But, yeah. And I heard he was trying to bring the Crips together, too. But, you know, I appreciate y'all for watching this episode. Stay tuned. And, yeah, let me know something in the comments. We got more to come. Lights. Subscribe!